Today we're going to make unleavened bread for Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So what you'll need: cutting board, a bowl, water, flour, a rolling pin, some measuring cups to scoop the flour and measure the water. And if you're not interested in doing so, you can have some spices. I'll be using crushed chilies. You'll also need a pan and a stove. So first, you'll take the bowl, take a measuring cup, the flour, scoop flour, put it into the bowl. You want to make sure that you don't use all of the flour into the bowl, because you'll need flour to, you'll see why. Then you take the water, you just pour it in. Oh, you also need a knife and a spoon. Take the spoon and mix the flour in the water. If it's still doughy, like it, as you can see it is here, what you'll do is you'll just take the water, pour some more in, and continue to stir it until it is not doughy like this. You don't want it doughy like that or floury and dry. You just keep adding water until it's more of a paste, more liquidy. But you don't want it to have really liquidy. So in this case, it's a little of that. Would scoop a little flour. Once we got a paste like this, Play-Doh type paste, you can put in the optional seasoning. You want to mix it in. Mix it in. Want to, and add more. When you mix the, or so that when you make the, when you put it on the stove, it is, you can actually taste the spices. That's in there completely. And once you got it to paste like this, you want to take the flour, and this is why I said not to use all the flour in the bowl. And put all the flour in the bowl. I'll take flour, put it onto the cutting board. I'll take more than that. I'll put more on that, like that. Put the flour aside. Want to make sure you have your rolling pin handy. You can take some of the paste, well, dough, whatever you want to call it, with a spoon, or you can use your hands, but I recommend a spoon because it's very sticky. I'm going to put it onto the flour. Take a bit of it and do that. Then with your hands, take the flour, put it over it, over top of the wet bread. And you want to get it all, so you get it, the dough thoroughly covered in flour. Otherwise the rolling pin will stick to the dough and you'll have some issues. And push the dough aside on the cutting board, but not off of it. You'll need to roll the dough. You'll then take the dough here. This is the dough. This is what it'll look like once you cover it in flour. You'll flatten it with your hands. You'll take the rolling pin and just gently roll it. I want to try and get it so it's not looking like a rectangle. That rolled. Might have to put a bit of flour on top, parts of it while you're rolling it. And just brush the excess flour off. To get it as flat as possible, because unleavened bread is bread that does not rise. Leavened bread are things like sliced bread and donuts and bagels and muffins, things that have yeast in it. is what yeast is what makes bread rise. So you make an unleavened bread, you make it with water and flour, and then you cover it in flour, right, so that it's not sticky. And you'll roll it with a rolling pin. You can use a plastic one or a wooden one. I recommend wooden. You want to flatten it. Then you want to take it. You want to get the pan. Pick up the dough carefully because it will stretch. And you want to take it, put it into the pan. You want to make sure that it's not on the edge, near the center. And then put it onto the stove. Turn the stove on to about, that's a little low, but about 3.5. Let that get cooked in there. Leave that in there for about 5 minutes on each side. And then once you have it cooked, you want to take it and put it into a container, like a Tupperware container like this, as long as it has a lid and can seal. Because you don't want the air to harden the bread. You wanted to keep it just right. And then you repeat that with the rest of the wet dough until you have all your pieces of unleavened bread cooked. Thank you. See ya.